So I've been drinking AG1 every day for the last 3 weeks. I had so many patients tell me how awesome it made them feel that I really wanted to try it. So I'm very glad that AG1 reached out to me. I do eat pretty healthy, so I wasn't sure I would really feel much of a difference. But I was pretty psyched to see if it would. There I go using psyched, which kind of dates me on my age a little bit, so hope you guys know what that means. Anyways, I get pretty excited when there might be something that can make me feel even more awesome than I already do. And a very huge thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. And even though this is a sponsored video, these definitely are my own opinions. What exactly is AG1? So AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that can replace a bunch of products and supplements you may have in your cabinet. It's kind of like spring cleaning. Instead of just addressing one area of the body, foundational nutrition supplements help to elevate our baseline by supporting our body's needs every day to feel our very best, which is what we all want, right? So this includes gut optimization, immune support, stress management, and nutrient replenishment. One thing I noticed after just a few days is that I actually had more energy. If you guys have been following me, you know that I love my coffee and nachos and pizza and cheeseburgers and cupcakes and wine. Yes, these can be part of a healthy diet too, as long as they don't make up the majority of it. After 3 days of drinking AG1, I was only drinking 1 cup of coffee instead of the 2 that I normally would drink. I would usually make a cup of coffee right when I got up in the morning at O dark 100. What does the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early. See if you can guess what movie that is. I would start it and then I would finish it in the car on my way to work. And then as I got to work and was setting up my office, before I grabbed a quick workout, I would have another coffee. Now I'm finding I don't even want a cup of coffee until I get to the office. So not only am I drinking less caffeine, but I'm no longer doing it first thing in the morning. It's actually way better for the body to wait to drink some caffeine because you have these specific receptors that are blocked when you drink caffeine later. So that actually helps to keep you alert even longer during the day than if you were to drink that cup of coffee right off the bat. So, and by drinking AG1 first thing in the morning, I'm immediately getting 12 ounces of water into my body, which is a great thing to do, right? We all get a little bit dehydrated at night, unless you are someone that drinks water all night long. I don't know very many people that do that. And it really only takes being dehydrated by 2%, not very much, before you actually will start to notice symptoms like headaches, lightheadedness, and fatigue. I'm someone who usually drinks at least some water first thing in the morning, so I know it's not just the water that's helping my clarity and my energy. So not only am I more awake with less caffeine, that's the key, but I'm actually feeling more mentally clear during the day. Yay, that's good for everybody, especially my patients. So I'm actually able to even find my keys in my phone now during the day too. So AG1 has rhodiola, magnesium, B vitamins, and more to optimize your body's resilience to stress, so that your energy is sustained throughout the day without those lulls. Now here's why I am mad at AG1. Yep, you heard me correct. I said mad. Okay, it's really more annoyed than it is mad. Because if this foundational nutrition supplement is helping me to feel better, it probably means I'm not getting everything that I need in my diet. We all lead busy lifestyles. That darn work and those kids get in the way sometimes. It can be difficult to make sure that we are really getting everything that we need in our diets, including the best of diets. And this is where AG1 is cool, right? It contains a broad spectrum of micronutrients and phytonutrients, tough word apparently, phytonutrients that help keep the body going all day, every day. AG1 helps to close those nutritional gaps that we might be missing and support the whole body health. I am sure I'm not the only one out there that could use a little extra oomph in their diet. In fact, deficiencies in folate, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, zinc, and iron can actually cause DNA damage, which we definitely want to avoid. The other thing is that 40% of Americans have a mutation in a specific gene called the MHTFR gene. So if this deficient is present, or this mutation I should say is present, it causes difficulty in processing some of those B vitamins. If you have this mutation and you take a regular B vitamin, you're probably not absorbing it. So a process that can really help is called methylation. And one of my favorite things about AG1 is that they do methylate those B vitamins that have trouble getting absorbed. So that really means they're actually being delivered in active forms, which is exactly what our body needs. And you do not see that in very many products. If you take a list of the minerals and vitamins that are in AG1, it's a long list, and this is a good thing. Minerals and vitamins don't just work alone. Many vitamins and minerals are hard for the body to process, and so AG1 makes it easy by carefully sourcing their ingredients for absorption, potency, and nutrient density. So you can get the most out of those nutrients that you're consuming. The ingredients are accessible, available, and ready to do what they're capable of, so you can do what you are capable of. So for example, just taking a calcium supplement doesn't always get that calcium supplement into the bone, unless there are other minerals to help support it and transport it into that bone. This is actually why you can see that sometimes people that take calcium supplements don't actually have improved bone health. It can even lead to things like bone spurs because calcium that doesn't get into the bone has to go somewhere. So the fact that AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement really matters. And here's another really important part of nutrition and health, is gut health. We have barriers in our body to help protect our bodies. Without these barriers, our bodies can't properly balance the important nutrients that need to get in and be absorbed, and the unhealthy factors that actually need to be eliminated. This affects every system in the body, including our energy levels, mood, metabolism, skin and joints, mental acuity, and our respiratory function. Things like not drinking enough fluid, medications, a poor diet that's high in refined foods and sugar and not enough fiber, increased stress, not enough sleep, autoimmune disorders, substance abuse, and too much non-beneficial bacteria can all affect our digestion and what goes into and out of our guts. If our intestines aren't able to limit or exclude the foods that should be eliminated, the immune response may not work like it's supposed to, which is not good for us. So not only is it important to watch what we don't put into our systems, but what we do put in as well. So things like probiotics help put good bacteria back into our system, and that helps promote a nice healthy balance of that gut bacteria. And prebiotics help support growing those good bacteria. So you can kind of look at them like a microbiome fertilizer to help balance that bacteria. The cool thing about AG1 is that it has both the pre and the probiotics in it, which you don't see all that often. And even better, the probiotics are a live strain of two of the most important types, and they're packaged so that they retain the ability of them to actually work. So often you will buy a bottle of probiotics on the shelf, and they've already lost some of their ability to work because they were made shelf stable, so they lose some of that action. When your gut is happy and healthy, not only is your digestion healthy, which helps things like occasional constipation, but your systems, all of them, are healthier too. I mentioned before that I tend to take this first thing in the morning, but you might be wondering about the taste. It's actually got a mild vegetable flavor with a bit of a sweet, fruity taste. My son actually swears that it tastes a little bit like Bazooka Joe bubblegum. Not a bad taste, right? Don't get me wrong though, it's not the most wonderful thing I have ever tasted, but for all the nutritional support it provides, it's pretty darn good. I don't think it's something I would leisurely sip throughout the day, but I actually have no problem drinking it with just water, just mixed with water. And I will say too, it does make a difference to use the shaker bottle, or at least a shaker bottle, and shake it all together. When I have tried to just put like a teaspoon in a glass, it doesn't mix up nearly as well. My preference too is with 12 ounces of water, but the recommendation is anywhere between 8 to 12 ounces of water. So you might have to experiment a little bit to see what works best for you. Even with the very best of diets, we could all use support to help fill in those nutritional gaps. You can kind of think of it like nutritional insurance. If you want to learn more about AG1, like testing or where they source their ingredients, check out the link or scan this QR code. And a big thank you again to AG1 for sponsoring this video.